Hello and welcome. You're watching Live and Breaking with me, Shavin Sen. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we get you explosive details of how one particular company responsible for supplying ghee to the Tirumala temple in Tirupati was actually a company that was favored, so much so that tender conditions were actually violated. Tonight, we take you through the details of the documents that have been accessed, which clearly goes on to indicate that one company perhaps was being favored. And that's where the investigation lies at this point in time. But up first, let's also take you through the headlines we're tracking at this hour.
Large our government through money power and also through Operation Kamala, but they could not succeed.
Siddaramaiah issues the first statement after the High Court verdict, calls it a conspiracy by the BJP and JDS to frame him.
Proof and evidence that the Muda scam that Siddaramaiah and his family are beneficiaries of is a serious scam. This investigation is free and fair, that Siddaramaiah must resign immediately.
BJP ups the ante against Congress government in Karnataka, demands Siddaramaiah's resignation. Badlapur sexual assault accused shot dead in encounter, Maharashtra CID to probe incident. CPM legislator and actor Mukesh arrested by SIT in rape case, released on bail just within hours after the arrest. Amid Tirupati Laddu Rao, Hindu priests stage protest, demands strict action against the perpetrators. First, traces of animal fat was found in the ghee that was being used to make the laddus in Tirupati temple. Thereafter, the test reports that confirmed that animal fat was used, and investigation revealed that proper checks were not even carried out. It turns out that one particular company that was responsible for the supply of ghee, that supplied ghee at a rate which, again, was questionable in the first place. It turns out that this particular company did not even meet the tender condition. The tender that was actually floated by the board required that a company should have a turnover of about 250 crore rupees. Republic TV has now accessed details from the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, which basically shows that this particular company, AR Dairy, had a turnover of only about 244 crore rupees. Now, I'll take you through the documents that we have accessed. On your screens right now, this is clause number 74, where they are clearly making a mention that for anyone to participate in the bidding process, the annual turnover should be more than 250 crore rupees. The suppliers should produce evidence of the same, issued by chartered accountant, audited, and this should be the period of about 5 years. Now, I'll take you through the details of whether at all there was an attempt that was actually made to favor this particular company. Because if you see clause number 74 of the tender document, it is very clear that you need to have a cutoff about 250 crore rupees. Now, I'll tell you what's the reality. The reality of this particular company, and in fact, we've gone through the documents, what you see right now on your screens. Let's just once again come to here and take you through. The required revenue was 250 crore rupees. It was way lower than that. 244 crore rupees is the net sales and other operating income of this very company. If you're wondering where does this figure come in from, this is from the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Their own documents of the company basically indicates that they haven't even met the criteria. So the question is that if at all the tender conditions were actually violated, then why was this company given the tender? And the tender was what? The tender was to basically supply ghee to the temple. And in fact, what it turns out that not only were the conditions were actually flouted, it turns out that they were given a tender for a longer period of time. We'll try and see if we can also go across to our reporters on the ground getting us the latest details. So what you see, the required revenue as per the tender document was 250 crore rupees. The ghee supplier's actual revenue was about 244 crore rupees. And more importantly, the fact that they were basically supplying the ghee at a much lower rate, that in itself would have been the first alarm. The first alarm that should have been raised was about the rate in which they were actually giving this entire ghee. Let me also go across to my colleague Harsha as well as Aneri, who is joining us from Tirupati. First to you, Harsha, getting us the documents, details of what we believe is the clincher. We'll go back to the graphics of it, the graphics of the tender documents, clause number 74. Quickly take us through the details of it. What was the tender process in the first place? And has the company really responded to the allegations that have been leveled against them?
Shaman, so now cat is out of the bag, and right now we know that the elephant which needs to be addressed is that how this Tamil Nadu-based company AR Dairy not only flouted with the rules in which the ghee tender was allotted to it, but now the bigger thing is the financial statements of the AR Dairy, which has come into light, where it clearly specifies that how the AR Dairy's annual turnover and income and the sales and market profit is only 244 crore, while the company, the which to the tender was to be allotted, should have 250 crores turnover and more than that, but the rules were clearly flouted. No mandate and procedure were followed while giving the tender and allotting the tender to the AR Dairy, which is the Tamil Nadu-based company in this entire matter. However, AR Dairy has stated that these allegations are false, these are not true, but the statements clearly reveal that how not only during the ghee that the lower price of rupees 320 per kg was given to AR Dairy, which was supposed to be 410 rupees per kg, but in this sense also annual income is much lower. It is almost much lower than more than 60-70 crore, not followed while the tender was allotted to AR Dairy. And now we are looking at the larger picture, because at that time YSRCP Congress was in power and the rules were flouted. In fact, the laboratory clearly has mentioned that how animal fat, the beef tallow and fish oil was found in the laddus which were made and which was given to the Tirupati Devastham. Also, in that case also, they never said that FSSAI and the NABL accredited, and NABL has double checked their ghee testing from the laboratory which they had to do. Clearly this is an oversight and the deliberate attempt to play with the sentiments of the devotees in this entire matter. Now we are looking at the larger picture, and we have to envisage exactly how present TDP government will take action against AR Dairy, where it is clearly said that how no rules was kept in mind and everything was flouted and the violations were at the larger picture. Back to you.
Let me also go across to my colleague Aneri, who is joining us from Tirupati. Aneri, first it was about the rate of ghee. That in itself should have raised the alarm bells, but that did not happen. There are a few other documents that have also been accessed which clearly goes on to indicate, one, that there were no tests that were conducted despite multiple complaints that were received by the board authorities.
Well, that's right. What we have been seeing is that AR Dairies had definitely come out with a statement that they have not violated or they did not supply adulterated ghee to the Tirumala temple. But now that the document shows that how they have flouted the rules of the board, and also at the same time, as they do not match the tender requirements, that is 250 crores. But also at the same time, what we have been seeing is that the AR Dairies, which is a Tamil Nadu-based company, had supplied get ghee only for rupees 319. That itself was questionable because it is practically not possible to get ghee at rupees 319. But also at the same time, what we see is that the Tirumala board, the documents which were handed over to the Chief Minister, the TTD had mentions that there was no test in the last 5 years during Jagan Mohan Reddy's government itself. It clearly mentions that the adulteration test was never carried out during the Jagan Mohan Reddy's government, and that is the reason why it never came out that the ghee which has been supplied to Tirumala temple for making of the laddus was never known that the ghee was adulterated. And also at the same time, this is the first time that the adulteration test was done, as they had violated the tender rules as well. And also the many people back then had also raised complaints that the quality of the laddu has gone down, and many of them had also questioned about the Anna Prasad which is given. So now we'll have to see what's next, because SIT team will be formed at an IG level which will be investigating into this matter. But yes, now the question arises is that why did Jagan Mohan Reddy's government or the TTD board members back then during the previous government had given tenders to AR dairies which did not meet the requirements of the rules and regulations of the tender procurement?
Well, in fact, for all our viewers who are tuning in right now, let me just take you through all the details that we have accessed. Republic TV has now accessed documents from the Ministry of Corporate Affairs of the company that is in the dock, AR Dairy. It turns out that the ghee supplier did not even meet the tender conditions. The tender conditions, as per clause number 74, basically indicates that any company that has to participate in this entire process would be about 250 crore rupees. Now, the documents that have been accessed by Republic TV goes on to indicate that AR Dairy's net revenue was about 244 crore rupees. So there is an indication that perhaps this particular company was favored. Let me also try and see if we can get in some more reactions on this story. And before I go across to Harsha, I'm told that Patabi Raman of the TDP is joining us. Mr. Patabi, thank you very much for speaking to Republic TV. We have accessed certain documents which goes on to indicate two things. That this company, which is in the dock for supplying ghee to the Tirumala temple in Tirupati, did not even meet the tender conditions.
Yeah, Savan, good evening. Here I would like to bring out one more fact. It is, I think in February 2020, the then chairman of TTD, Y.V. Subba Reddy, who happens to be the uncle of Jagan Mohan Reddy, through a special resolution, had altered all the tender conditions to favor particular companies. As you have rightly pointed out, previously, for all ghee tenders, the tender condition is any company which is participating in the tender should have a turnover of 250 crore. But that was altered by Y.V. Subba Reddy through a special resolution, and the 250 crore slab was brought down to 150 crore. They have reduced the annual turnover condition by around 100 crore so as to facilitate companies like AR Foods. So this clearly indicates, as you also rightly pointed out, AR Foods as it is does not meet that 250 crore criteria. So to favor AR Foods, they have even changed the tender conditions. They have reduced the turnover criteria to 150 crore. So this clearly shows that there is a collusion. It is a pre-planned corruption that was carried out in TTD in the purchase of cow ghee. So they collude with
some confusion on this entire matter. There appears to be some confusion on this entire matter. The documents that we have, the tender documents indicate that the cutoff was 250 crore rupees. Are you suggesting that the clauses were changed over a period of time, ensuring that it suits the requirements of AR Dairy? Is that the allegation that the TDP is leveling?
No, it is not an allegation. It is a fact. The tender conditions were changed by passing special resolutions. I will give you the resolution number also, which was signed by Y.V. Subba Reddy. So this is a pre-planned thing which was done. I'll give you the resolution number 7. It is resolution number 371. 371 is the resolution number through which they have changed the tender conditions. So it is a collusion beforehand. So they come into kind of a with AR Foods. They bargain, the kind of kickbacks. They come to an understanding regarding the kickback, and then they change the tender conditions to favor this company. They release the tender document and they award the contract to AR Foods. So that is how it was done.
I just want to repeat this once again, Mr. Patabi, because you are saying that there is evidence to suggest that there were changes that were basically made. So this is beyond what we are already showing to our viewers. You are saying that after the documents, I just want to once again, Mr. Patabi, meanwhile, we'll try and see if we can get you on air, because this is a sensational charge you are making. You are saying that the document that we have, there is something more to it. So I'll just once again go back to our viewers. Mr. Patabi, stay with me, because I want to take our viewers through the latest documents that have been accessed by Republic TV, in which we are showing the tender document clause number 74. Let's just once again remove this graphic, get back to the breaking that we have right now. It's the tender clause number 74, which talks about the requirement of 250 crore rupees. Now, that's the eligibility criteria put across in this particular tender document. AR Dairy does not even meet those criteria. 244 is their net revenue as per the documents available at the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Despite that, this company is actually given the entire tender to carry out the supply of ghee. I'll go back to Mr. Patabi of the TDP, and let's put out this breaking news coming in. TDP is making another sensational charge. They are saying that the clauses were changed. Mr. Patabi, could you give us more details? When were the clauses changed? I'm not sure if you can see the documents that I've put out right now. Are you saying that after these clauses that were made public, there were certain changes that were brought in?
Yeah, see, I have, as you have rightly said, I am in a phono, so I can't see the visual. But the resolution, which I have, item number 371, which was signed by Y.V. Subba Reddy on 29/2/2020, in this resolution, in condition number 72, the actual condition was annual turnover of the firm to be at least 250 crore. Now that was changed to annual turnover of the firm to be at least 150 crore. So I've shared this document to your team so that you can also go through it. So the 250 crore was reduced to 150 crore by Y.V. Subba Reddy. Why was this done? To favor companies like AR Foods.
Well, in fact, I'll just request our team to just put out the documents that we have just received. So there is another document. There were revised tender conditions. Let me also try and go back to my colleague Aneri. Mr. Patabi, we'll try and see if we can get you on Zoom in a short while from now as you are making it. Other channels are now following this news break of Republic TV, where we have been able to put across full details of what was really happening. We'll try and get those documents in a short while from now. Mr. Patabi, I'll just request you to perhaps come back to us through Zoom, because this is a big news break. Almost all other channels now following this big news break by Republic TV. Aneri, we have now accessed another document which shows the revised tender conditions. Can we put this out on our grids right now? The revised tender condition, which basically indicates that the criteria was completely changed. Why don't you quickly walk us through the details, Aneri, of the revised document that has been accessed by you? Aneri, I'll just request you to stay on with us. Aneri has accessed those details. I want Aneri to be back on our screens right now. The revised tender conditions, which goes on to indicate that beyond what we have right now, we are talking about the 250 crore rupees. TDP is now making a sensational charge. TDP says that even after this, after the eligibility criteria that was made public, they've made certain changes, and we have just got details, the documents which shows that there have been revised tender conditions. Harsha, why don't you take us through the details till the time we can go across to Aneri, who's just accessed the revised tender conditions.
So, Shravan, the tender conditions along with the clauses were changed just to benefit one company, which is a Tamil Nadu-based company. And it happened in the year 2022 and till 2024, till the new government was formed. It happened in that period of time when the Karnataka Milk Federation denied to supply ghee and everything to the Tirupati Devastham. At that time, this company got the tender and the clauses were changed. And the new clauses clearly stated that how 244 crore was okay, the lower price was okay with the YSRCP government to give the tender to the AR Dairy. This is a Tamil Nadu-based company who came into light after 2022 when Karnataka Milk Federation denied that they will not be supplying any sort of product to Devastham for the laddu making, and that was the time when the lower price of the tender was given to AR Dairy. This is clearly the flouting and the violation of the rule. No procedure and mandate was followed, and that is the larger question which everyone is seeking, that why YSRCP government changed the rules just to benefit one company, which is the AR Dairy Private Limited. Right now, only statement was made from the side of AR Dairy that these allegations are false. There's no truth to these allegations. But right now, the chairman of the AR Dairy is underground. He has not come in front of the media by speaking that how at such lower price this tender was allotted to him. In fact, when Y.V. Subba Reddy was at the position of the chairman of the TDT Devastham, at that time only this company was first contacted by the Devastham official employees. Yes, back to you.
Well, Harsha, I'll just request you to stay on with us because Aneri is getting us more details of the revised tender conditions. So, Aneri, this goes way beyond that what we have broken a short while back. So it's just not about the eligibility criteria. They've actually changed it. Their procurement was supposed to be nearly 200 crore rupees. They've reduced it to about 150 crore rupees. Now, that's the other big breaking news coming in. Aneri, take us through the details you're getting it. The big news break followed by all other channels.
Well, Shravan, what we have been seeing is that the tender document which was given, which was changed basically during Jagan Mohan Reddy's government. Earlier it was 250 crores, but then now after Jagan Mohan Reddy had come to power in Andhra Pradesh, he had changed, the TTD board had changed the numbers to 150 crores. We have the document, the revised document with us. We'll just read out what it mentions.
Aneri, just do something. Aneri, I'll just request you. Aneri, why don't you ask your camera person? Why don't you ask your camera person to perhaps zoom in? Why don't you try doing that? I'll get a quick reaction from Jyotsna, who is joining us on this broadcast. Meanwhile, get your camera person to zoom into that clause number 72. Ms. Jyotsna Garu, Republic breaking the biggest story of the day was AR Dairy. AR Dairy being favored because the documents that we have accessed clearly goes on to indicate that 250 crore rupees was the eligibility criteria. Turnover of the company was 244 crore rupees. A while back, your colleague, Mr. Pattabi Raman, has broken another big news saying that even after that, there was a revised condition. While my colleague Aneri is showing, Jyotsna Garu, I'll just request you to stay on. Aneri, take us through the revised documents that have been accessed by Republic TV. Go on.
Shravan, what you are seeing on your screen right now is the condition number 72. The annual turnover of the firm should be more than 50 crores. The supplier should produce an evidence that the turnover issued by the chartered accountant. So this is the condition number 72, which was changed. And also, I'll just show you that this is condition number 21. The tender shall be a ghee dairy manufacturing, procuring cow milk and cream. This is the license which they have to submit. And also such tender shall present records of procurement to the turn of at least 3 tons of cow milk, fat, and also...
Aneri, let's just quickly get to the first response from TDP's Jyotsna Garu, who is joining us on this broadcast. Ms. Jyotsna, as I've been pointing out, Republic TV has brought out another document. Now, this document is with regards to the eligibility criteria. 250 crore rupees was the eligibility criteria. The company, as per their revenue records, had clocked in about 244 crore rupees. So it appears that there was some sort of favors meted out.
Absolutely, Shravan. And also, it's just not condition number 72, Shravan. There are also condition number 19 and 20. Both the conditions were removed. the earlier existing tender conditions. Condition number 19, the same document carries them as well, Shivan. Condition number 19 talks about the dairy should have been collecting at least 4 lakh liters of cow milk per day for the last 1 year, as evident from their procurement records and returns submitted to FSSAI. This is another condition which they have tampered with, and the recommendations of the committee, which was accepted later on, they have removed this particular condition. Again, condition number 20, which talks about it shall also have a processing capacity of minimum of 8 tons cow milk or fat or ghee, cow milk fat ghee in excess of its market requirement of cow milk fat for liquid milk and other products for the last 1 year. This shall be evident from the return submitted to FSSAI. Even this was tampered with, this was removed. Condition number 19 and 20 were removed. And again, as Aneri was speaking about the condition number 21, it was removed. And yes, as very rightly quoted by Patabigaru earlier, condition number 72, 250 crores of annual turnover of the firm. The firm should be at least having 250 crores of annual turnover. Even that.
Can I just get a quick answer from you? Now, this document that I'm holding, the existing tender condition made a mention of 100 crore rupees. As per this document, condition number 72, it has been turned over to 50 crore rupees, and they're saying this is a recommendation of the committee members. Do you know who are members of this committee, and what were the recommendations? Was it followed up?
See, the recommendations, this we are talking about the second one. Yes, the recommendation of this committee led by Y.V. Subba Reddy, the then chairperson of TTD board. You can find it here very clearly, Shaban. The TTD board chairperson, uncle of Jagan Mohan Reddy, Y.V. Subba Reddy, who, I don't know whether he is a Hindu or not, but he claims himself as a Hindu. He is the one who has done all this. As simple as that.
Well, Jyotsna,
the committee members also, there is a purchase committee member, there was a purchase committee which was again headed by and which would report to Y.V. Subba Reddy.
Okay.
Again, see all these things.
Ms. Jyotsna, I'll just, I'm running out of time. I'm sorry, I'm running out of time, but we'll be back on the story, a story that we have broken first. We will be on it. We have also reached out to the YSRCP on their response on the story. There are questions that we are raising, and whether at all YSRCP will be responding to the questions that we have now put out as to whether at all there is any connection, because Y.V. Subba Reddy, who's behind this, the allegation that has been leveled against him, whether at all they will be responding. We'll slip into a short break. On the other side, we will continue with this big news break coming in from Tirupati, where we are putting out documents to basically indicate how one particular company responsible for supplying ghee to Tirupati temple did not even meet the eligibility criteria for the tender.